Hey there, it's Erin with Time Saving Templates, and today I'm going to be going over a question that we've gotten lately about bonus program calculations and how to calculate a quarterly bonus plan. And so here at Time Saving Templates, we have three different types of bonus or variable compensation and sales commission templates that you can use to plug in your employee and company information, and it will calculate bonuses. There's three different. There's a variable comp, the KPI, and a sales commission. So like each template will have its own video explaining how to use the template and more details about it. So I'll definitely link to those if you're interested in that. Just a quick overview on each one before I get into the example. The variable compensation template is going to be great for a larger company. You have standardized salary bands and standardized performance rating systems. It works best for something like that, and it has about 1,000 rows, but you can always extend the rows if you have more than 1,000 employees that you need it to work for. So that's the variable compensation template. And then the KPI template is more for a smaller company or a smaller subset of a company where you want to track specific key performance indicators and you're tying different weights to each KPI that is going to help you calculate a bonus payout. So not just tracking the KPI, but linking that to a bonus payout. And that works for up to 20 employees within one file, but you can save different versions of the file if you need it for more than 20 people. And then the sales commission template is helping to track commission payouts using a quota attainment method. And there's actually 3 videos that go over quota attainment and sales commission plans. And it not only helps you calculate, but determine what commission percentage should be offered based on amount of sales and that sort of thing. Okay, so those are the 3 different templates. Let me dive into the variable compensation first. This was for like a larger set of employees or bonuses, and where you have standardized things like salary bands, performance ratings. Even if you don't have those things, there's still workarounds to use this template. So if you like it, go check out the video where I go over the workarounds. But basically, with all the templates, the way this works is the green cells is where you need to enter your information, the white is optional, and then the gray are the formulas that are going to calculate based on the information that you enter. And so the details tab is pulling information from a bonus key and also performance ratings that have been entered. This is looking at where you have salary bands in the company, and each band has a different bonus target. And so this is assuming that, for example, a 5% bonus target is 5% of the employee's annual salary is what their bonus target is. So that is assuming like an annual bonus program, but we want to figure out how to use this for quarterly. So what I would recommend here, if you want to use this type of template for quarterly, I would recommend to change this current annual salary. And because what we're doing is we're taking that 5% bonus target times their annual salary to start the calculation. There's different weights. There's weights for individual and corporate results that you can set that to weigh how you can customize that. But if we want to do it quarterly, I'm going to change this column L that was a white column and change it to quarterly earnings or eligible earnings. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take either their annual salary divided by 4. So that's going to give me what their salary would be for the quarter. Now, if I take that 5% annual target times their quarterly salary, now I'm going to get a quarterly sized bonus payout to where you could do it again each quarter. It's going to equal out to their annual bonus target. Also, instead of dividing by 4, you may want to take actual earnings that they earn during the quarter, because especially if you have non-exempt or overtime eligible. And just a quick disclaimer, I don't have a legal background. I'm not a legal professional, but when it comes to like a non-exempt, exempt, and non-exempt status, if you're not familiar with that, that just means if the job is eligible for overtime or not. So if you're legally required to pay overtime, then it would be on the safe side to include overtime earnings along with all their regular earnings into this calculation, into their eligible earnings. Another benefit to including the actual earnings for the quarter is that if you have a new hire, it's automatically prorating based on their date of hire because they're only getting a percentage of what they actually earned. So that's another way you could do it, is just if you're able to get a report from payroll or something and get a report of the quarterly earnings, then you can use that. But for this example, I'm just going to divide annual by 4, and then I'm getting everybody's quarterly earnings there. And so if I scroll right, you'll see all these calculations are based on the different performance ratings. The what's been entered in yellow is for the example. And we have like different salary bands getting different weight for corporate or individual results. That's based on what we entered in the bonus key. So if I look here, we're getting 5% in this first row, gives me 5% of that 10,000 is giving me a 500 bonus payout. Now, if you're using this for quarterly, I would recommend use the actual bonus payout before proration. So the proration is set up for an annual bonus plan. This person is getting prorated at 9 months instead of 12. So if it's all 12, then they're getting their full amount of the bonus. But if it's 9 months, that means if I scroll over here, they were hired in March. So they worked 9 months out of the year. That's how it's prorating. So then I'm just going to take 375 instead of 500. But because we use their quarterly earnings or their actual earnings for the quarter and not the year, you don't want to penalize them twice. So this $500 would technically already be prorated. So I would go ahead and use this if you're doing quarterly. So I just want to point out, if you are using the variable comp template and you're trying to do this, let me open up a blank copy. It's going to look like this. And the important thing is that this green column that says current salary, this is where you want your quarterly earnings or your quarterly eligible earnings or quarterly salary. This is where you want that information to end up. So you may want to do the calculation in a separate worksheet and then paste it into the template, just because if you put the annual here, add the quarterly calculation in a blank column, you're going to want to check that the actual bonus payout is looking at this column L. So that's where, if you're doing quarterly, you want the quarterly pay in this column. If you're doing annual, you want their annual salary in this column. So just wanted to mention that to avoid any confusion. The other template that we have is the KPI template. Now this one is set up really different than the variable compensation template because we're setting up more specific KPIs and metrics per employee. So it's not just like a performance rating on 1 through 5 or 1 through 10. You're setting up the different weights, the target, and actual on up to 5 or actually 6 different KPIs. For this one, I just have 2 KPI examples, and I have a percentage. Is their target is to get a 90% and they got 80% and 90%. So this is going to calculate a score of 94%. That's how the KPIs are being calculated. If I go to the summary page, instead of looking at annual salaries and bonuses, percentages of the annual salary. This is for a smaller company that maybe doesn't have standardized salary bands or bonus targets. You just have a bonus pool. So this template is taking, you would enter your bonus pool for what you think you can pay for bonuses, and it's going to evenly distribute into this target or max column. And then based on their score, 94%, they're meeting their KPIs, they're going to get 94% of this bonus pool. As you add, for example, as you add another person and put them as eligible, it then redistributes that bonus pool so it's going equally with everyone. Now there's also another version of this template. You get both versions whenever you get the KPI, because there's a way to add not really bonus targets, but different ratios. So some positions might get a higher proportion of that bonus pool than others. So you could set like a hierarchy with a few different levels that way. That'll be explained more in the video on KPIs. But for this example, I want to show you how to use this for quarterly. And so it's really simple. We're just going to take the bonus pool, which we're assuming it was 20,000 if we were doing this annually, if you're doing your KPI reviews annually. If you want to use it quarterly, you can totally do that. Just put a quarterly bonus pool. So instead of 20,000, maybe we have 5,000 and it's just for one quarter. Then it's going to distribute the bonus the same way, and it's going to give me this payout before prorations. I would also recommend going with this column and not prorating if you're already putting a quarterly amount up here, just because the proration is based on a 12-month proration. So that is the KPI template. So I will also link to that. And lastly, the commission, the sales quota template is going to be really quick because there's different tabs for each employee with employee details and determining targets, but you're able to select if your sales targets and thresholds are going to be monthly, quarterly, or annual. So in that case, you don't really need to do a whole lot in order to use this for quarterly. You could just select quarterly. And it's mostly looking at the sales volumes. And then for determining what recommended target commission percentages, it does want to look at annual information, but it's a percentage, so it should equal out. But I'll link to the other videos on the sales quota template if that is something you're interested in. I know it's a lot we went over. There's so much detail and functionality in each template, and I feel like I was trying to rush through it to get through all three. So definitely check out the other videos if any of those sparks your interest. And I hope this will help you when you need to calculate quarterly bonuses, because who wants to wait a whole year if you can pay out a bonus quarterly? That could be a definite benefit to everybody. And again, you can find any of those templates here at timesavingtemplates.com. Going to shop in human resources. It will be in that section. And also don't forget, we have free resources here at timesavingtemplates.com/free resources. And if you go, there's going to be a section for HR and compensation. That'll have a compensation metrics cheat sheet. And then we also have some freebies for small business, rental property management, and a guide to getting started with Excel. So until next time, don't forget, I am here to help you streamline and save time when it comes to using Excel spreadsheets in your business or in your HR activities. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.